We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for money?
Absolutely not.
Oh, he's going to confess.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for.
So they're quitting him on this because in, I think it was his Hustlers University series, he kind of basically explains how to be a pimp. Called himself a pimp, talks about how to get women, trick them into falling in love with you, convince them into doing cam work, right, use them to then scam people like crazy stuff. Which, if he did do, essentially sounds like sex trafficking. Like, whether they find enough evidence or not, if he did what he said, pretty much a sex trafficker.
For you?
No. We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely and utterly sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely and utterly, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated. And I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system. And I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
that's exactly what you said on your website.
No, I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it.
In your words.
And again,
he's on camera saying it. He's on camera saying it. I don't know. It kind of looks like he's shitting himself a bit.
Once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. I'm actually such a nice person that I've never had anyone come at me.
The BBC has spoken to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior motive to everything you do.
Is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face.
I was so intent on wanting to please him and wanting him to be happy that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she accused? Has she accused me of a crime, this imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is
Has she accused me of a crime?
Emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the questions.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now, this Sophie, which the BBC has invented, which there's no face of, nobody knows who she is.
The BBC did not invent her.
Of course not. And because you never invent anything. And she's not filed criminal charges against me. What are we talking about here? What is she saying?
We're talking about emotional manipulation into the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolutely.
But he has videos of him saying that he's done this kind of thing. So I realise all his followers are going to believe him, right? But you've got somebody on video. He literally says he takes these women, he gets them to fall in love with him, right? He gets them into the sex industry. He talks about how for him, even having sex with them isn't even about sex, it's about power. And he gets what he wants from it, which is like then control. Like, he talks about all of this kind of stuff. And yet he expects us to believe that that at least that this story from the BBC is implausible and that they've just made it up. When, again, just go and look at the tapes of what he said. Just go and look at the videos. Don't take my word for it. Look at the videos.
Absolute garbage.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human
Sophie
trafficking.
Hasn't gone to court. Sophie doesn't exist.
I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe
They're not my words.
Coercion and emotional manipulation.
They're words you found on the internet.
She should come back at him with what he said and go, okay, well, if you feel that way, then sue the BBC for libel. It's very easy to sue people for libel in the UK if you think we're lying about you. You know, because obviously they can show a judge the proof that it's a real person without the judge revealing it. So, and he knows that. You know, sue them for libel. Sue them for libel.
and Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
let's
website,
move on to the next subject.
in your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same...
She's great. Look at his face. Is he angry or does he feel like he's fucked? Or both? Because was that, look at that little twitch, was that anger?
Let's move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one
So
for
he
a
looks-
minute.
he looked a bit
So there's
afraid
other
then.
places in that same website.
But then he's like, I don't know, was that like a damn, I didn't get away from it? She's looking at it like he's angry, but I think, I don't know, if I was him, I'd put it like that. Why did I say all that stuff? I'm fucked now. Oh, I'm finished. Right? So, it kind of looks like that's what he's doing, but he's trying to look like scary, but then, I don't know.
Where you say you get girls to fall in love with you and they do it because they love you,
It's
because they
terrifying.
want to do
Yeah,
what you
that's definitely
say.
good. You're shitting.
Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
Once
That's
again,
coercion, that's emotional manipulation, that's abuse.
what you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should be
Your
put in jail.
website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website. Next.
Like it's not like there's a couple of clips. It goes in detail, and there's so many interviews where he explains it. I've seen him interviewed. I've seen him on podcasts where he's explaining it to people, where he's explaining how he does this. Like he explains it so many times. You get the women to fall in love with you. You convince them they're the one. You convince them to come over. You get another woman to go out. You start talking to them about doing OnlyFans. You say, you know, you and me, babe, we're going straight to the top, right? Which, by the way, is like the absolute classic cartoon pimp like tactic, right? That's like just almost like, you know, cartoonish in sense of how like standard that's what they do. Yeah, oh, you and me, we're going to the top. We've got to get through this, and you're gonna have to sell yourself, right? Oh yeah, of course, a man like me has many girlfriends. He's just a pimp, right? Unless everything he says in all these videos is lies. It's all front. All the charges are fabricated, right? Now, whether they have enough evidence to convict is a different matter, but. I'm sorry, like it looks like he's pretty much guilty. Come on.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken down.
No website's been taken down. My website is the same, and it's been the same for a very long time. You are accusing me, I'm guessing, what you're trying to say is you're accusing me, and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of, and that I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
It's not only about the criminal allegations. It's a much bigger issue. You've got children's organisations in the UK, you've got rape organisations in the UK, you've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children and on women in the UK and elsewhere because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men should treat women.
That's very upsetting. And the reason that's very upsetting is because I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person. I believe my impact on the world is positive.
The
This is
reason we're
garbage.
asking you...
So all of those organisations are all against him. One of our good friends is a teacher, and like, you know, they have issues with kids like saying crazy stuff, you know, like to female teachers or to like other girls in school. And like they had to have like training on like how to deal with kids who are going to say crazy misogynistic stuff because they've been watching Andrew Tate, because this is that much of an issue in schools. If this is all he's going to do and just deny it and not say anything else or make any argument, and it's just, I am a good person, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, he's not doing himself any favours, really. It makes you wonder why he'd even agree to this interview, because he knows the BBC are going to go like hard on him. He knows he's going to look terrible. Why would he even agree? Why would he even agree to this?
About these comments is because we've got the chief executive of Rape Crisis naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolute.
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like this.
Absolute garbage.
National organisations who are saying that are blaming you for increasing levels of misogyny. Schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed
If that was
by
true,
pupils
if that-
because of you and your teaching
Well, that's
and your
abso-
influence.
That's absolute garbage. I have never, ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society, I'm against.
But
I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen, to train, to work hard, to be exactly like me. And I'm saying that if men grew up
And you've got to say, well, why is this happening? If they're not getting anything from his message.
like me, which are hardworking and
When he has videos explaining how to be a pimp.
diligent and some emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof, violence going through the roof, men's mental health going through the roof, and they're going to all blame me because I appeared on the internet 1 year ago.
You sell an image of success.
Disingenuous. It's disingenuous.
You
and
sell
also,
an image of financial success
correct.
with a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
How does having a Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
I am asking you about things
Like, he's not doing well in this.
that you have said that have caused major national organizations, including the police, to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you about.
It's not what I said.
It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that you don't really care about the harm it causes.
That's not true.
Because
That's not true.
Making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
Okay, so
Again, he's just denying all of the stuff. Why would all of these organizations say that he's causing harm? The police, all these charities, teaching organizations, why would they all say this is happening? And like, he could go, well, some may have misinterpreted some of the things I've said. Maybe I should moderate my tone in future, right? And like, but you go, no, it's not real. No, not at all. Me, no, it's not coming from anywhere. It's made up. The BBC are lying. It just makes him look bad. And again, why would you agree? Why would you agree to it?
the first thing, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things, and I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy, and I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money, because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs, or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you could make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers who you then direct to your
He did have a rap song.
website where they pay to learn how to be like you.
I mean, I could make
terrible.
jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a joke
Are you
online.
saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous.
It makes you
and
money.
The reason, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising
Doesn't it worry you?
praising the fact that their sons are listening to me.
Does it not
praising
worry you?
the fact that their
The things I'm saying, does it not worry you?
It would worry. It would
Are you
worry,
not concerned about your influence?
It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world, you have billions of views, and one is now saying that her husband is not the same man she wants him to be, when thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite, well, then I would say
I've
that's...
presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No, what you have done is come here with an agenda, you've come here with loaded questions, you've come here with things taken out of context, you come here with things that you don't understand are satirical, and then you're going to also sit and say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos. And then I don't know what you expect me to say to that.
Sarcastic, and jokes.
No.
That's how you explain the comments you make.
For you to sit down...
Would you like to apologise for any of them?
For you to sit down...
Of course he wouldn't. Like, he must have known it was going to go like this. So why would you come on? Why would you do an interview like this when you've got nothing? Right? You're just going to know? It's not true. It's not true. He must know that that looks terrible. That Angela looks weak. Surely. Like, he must know.
For you to sit down, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend watched an Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes.
Schools.
Or whatever your argument is.
Police.
And that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car. Is
Does he
just
think that
disingenuous.
works?
If you actually
Does he
watch the
think
things
that
I
works?
say, if you actually watch my...
Is he quite stupid? Because it's such a bad tactic. No, you say one woman when she's just said 6 things so many times. No one's going to look. Like, even his fans, surely, you're not just going to see him go, one woman said something about her husband. Right? When we've been over it 4 or 5 times now. He must know he looks bad. And maybe he's just all front and he's just stupid.
My comments about women. I've done long podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this.
Andrew Tate talking there to Lucy Williamson. We'll let
Jesus, look, he's still loving him in the comments. Look at his fans. This man is what the world needs very desperately. Since being in contact with Tate's content, I've increased my income, got a promotion at work, and going to the gym regularly. He preached discipline and gender roles, positive messaging today. What are the chances any of that's true?